Alright, welcome again to the channel. Today we're going to be doing our reactions to the divisional games this past weekend. Also making some predictions for the title games. So, we talked about it. We figured we wanted to talk about the Packers first. Jake, I think, you definitely got a lead on this one, man.
It was definitely a disappointment. It was definitely hard to watch. I'm kind of glad I woke up halfway through the game. But I felt like the whole team didn't show up. There was no effort. There was nothing there. The team didn't. Yeah, they came out and scored on the opening drive, but what else did they do the rest of the game? Nothing.
No, their special teams really choked for them there at the end.
I mean, it seemed like everything was choking for them.
Which, honestly, if I'm going to put it down to anything, I'm going to put it on the special teams because, I got the yards here for you. Green Bay had more first down. They ran more plays. They had more total yards by about 50 yards. Definitely had more passing by almost 100. The only statistic they lost in was their rushing yards. So, but even that wasn't too terrible. So, You look at that. Offensively, they did it. Defensively, defense kept the offense in the game. So, if you're going to put it on anyone, I guess put it on the special teams.
Dude, it's exactly the special teams. You look at how, San Francisco, the amount of points they got, none of that was offense except that final drive.
Exactly.
And it was all, they stopped Green Bay from getting that field goal right before half, and then that punt block at the end. As soon as that punt block happened, I said, dog, this is literally the weird type of playoff shit that happens to only Aaron Rodgers. I was like, what the fuck, dude? I said,
and only when he plays the 49ers.
Exactly,
that's what I thought.
bro.
I was sitting here thinking maybe the Moons are going to align tonight and he's going to end that streak. Nope, 0-4.
I do find it funny that you have two elite quarterbacks in Aaron Rodgers and Matthew Stafford, and they both have a fear of the 49ers. Stafford sort of inherited it from the Rams when he ended up in LA, but
is it just a curse from the NFC North then?
Maybe.
Honestly, man, the 49ers just kind of put the fear in the North, that's for sure.
That is true.
But
I do feel like of the four teams that are left, the 49ers are the weakest team, but that just means everyone's going to overlook them, like when Philly went all the way.
That's what I think too. I think
Jimmy G's good, but he's nothing special.
Right.
Their offense is not electric like Kansas City. They don't have just amazing wide receivers like LA. Mm-hmm. They don't have. Yeah, I put Joe Burrow way above Jimmy G.
Oh, I would too.
Yeah. So 49ers are just average compared to the rest of the teams, and that's why they're going to get overlooked and probably run all the way. Jerks.
I think that's where they might surprise the Rams again this coming weekend with everything that happened this past weekend. They sure surprised me. I think that they're going to surprise a lot of people, and I do think that they might go to the Super Bowl. I do think that, and that's hard to say after they knock my team out, and that's a heartbreaker. But that's a damn good team that they have over there.
And you brought it up too. They don't really have anything. They don't have that knockout punch. It's like Jimmy G, like you said, Nate. He kind of just gets the job done, but might also cost you the game.
Yeah,
he does just enough.
Jimmy does just enough.
Yeah,
But
it's that defense, man. It's the defense, that's for sure. And then obviously we see that they got a good special teams. And I don't know. I could definitely see them giving the Rams a good fight and hell, even beating them. You look at Sean McVay. I think he's lost 6 in a row to the 49ers or something like that.
6 in a row since 2018.
Yeah. So that's the one everyone keeps throwing out there. But I'm like, it's Matt Stafford.
But to say
it's Matthew Stafford.
To say Jimmy
Trust
does
him.
Just enough, right?
Now, of those 6 losses, have they been blowouts?
You got to think week 18 they blew it. They were up 27 to 3.
Yeah, that one was bad.
We almost saw that this weekend too, but I think that's coming up. But to say Jimmy does enough, his 2 playoff wins this year, he's thrown for under 175 yards in both games, no touchdowns, and an interception in both.
Patrick Mahomes.
Is that his defense bailing him out, or is that just the run game, or is that Debo being able to be Debo and play wide receiver and running back?
I gotta go Debo.
That's what I think too. I think I give a lot of respect to Debo Samuel. Shout out to him.
He's carrying right now, man. And
big time.
Patrick Mahomes had more yards in the last 13 seconds of regulation than Jimmy G's averaging in the playoffs.
Oh, no. Yeah, I don't know. 49ers, I think they're going to definitely give the Rams a good fight.
Unfortunately. I want to see just the Rams put them away.
I think that they're going to actually come out like that. But I also got to raise the question to you, Jake. Is Aaron Rodgers done in Green Bay? What do you think? I know it might be too early to speculate, but...
I think he is. Some of the comments he made after the game was saying he doesn't want to be a part of a rebuild and citing all the contracts that they got to come up. Devontae Adams, a big one, and then they're saying that they want to franchise tag him. You know, players don't like to franchise tag. I mean, so I don't think 17 wants it. There's a few players on defense, big names. You got Valdez-Scantling. That's another big offensive weapon for him right there. I don't know. I don't think he comes back, especially with all the injuries that happened to the offensive line. They got to do something there. I think there's a rebuild coming for Green Bay. I feel like 12's done. Where he goes, I think it points to Tennessee at the way that they got knocked out. Tennessee's problems, they needed a quarterback. There's a lot of quarterbacks that's going to be coming about in free agency. There's going to be a lot of them, but I mean, I think one at the top is definitely going to be 12 because, I mean, when a big name quarterback relocates, what happens? Peyton Manning, Tom Brady. I mean, the other reason I point to Tennessee, Aaron Rodgers doesn't have to go up against the 49ers in the playoffs. They're in the AFC.
Yeah, he doesn't have to go through the Rams either.
Right. He's only got to worry about Mahomes. I mean, he's got to worry about a lot of good guys. We got Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson. I mean, the league's in a good spot. Like, we're losing Breeze, Rivers. Brady's going to be gone soon.
Yep.
Rodgers going to be gone soon. We've already said Breeze.
Roethlisberger. It's definitely that. You can feel the end of an era coming, right?
Yeah.
I can feel it.
I can feel the end of an era to the start of a new one.
What about you, Nate? What do you think's Aaron Rodgers' next move?
I don't know where he goes, but I don't think it's Tennessee. With Derrick Henry, they're too run heavy. They're not gonna want an elite quarterback like Aaron Rodgers because then they have to design their whole system.
But what if that's what Aaron wants to go into? Aaron wants to
more of a run heavy team, maybe.
That was my other question. I kind of wanted to bring up after we went through all 4 games, but we're kind of like getting close to it. And I just want to give you guys some time to think about it. Did Aaron Rodgers throw away his MVP, and did Tom Brady throw away his MVP and basically open up for Cooper Kupp?
Well, I mean, you can't base the postseason for regular season MVP. I think regardless, it was Cooper Kupp. I mean, he broke 2 of the biggest wide receiver records in the same year.
Yeah.
You have to give it to him. I mean, it was Thomas and Calvin Johnson, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
2 of the biggest wide receivers ever. Both of them are going to be Hall of Famers, and Cooper Kupp broke both of their records in the same season. Mm-hmm. You got to give it to him.
Yeah, plus you look at it like we always say, like, oh, well, take them off the team. So he brings the same effect. Where those, however many yards he had, what did we just say was like
where'd they go? Where would they go?
Where would they have gone?
Yeah, OBJ got there late, so they can't go to him. Same thing with the touchdowns. OBJ's not going to get those touchdowns.
No.
Cam Akers can't get all of those touchdowns. And
no.
I mean, Stafford is really good about finding lesser-known wide receivers and making them look like big targets. Look at Marvin Jones Jr. and Golden Tate. But Cooper Kupp is special.
Yeah.
This is the first time Stafford's had a good wide receiver since Megatron.
He has got a squad of weapons, dude.
It is nice to actually see him finally getting success after kind of rotting in Detroit all this time.
Which, can we then segue that into the Rams and Bucks and how upsetting it was to watch Sean McVay try to take the ball out of Matthew Stafford's hand, put it in Cam Akers, and what happened? Almost blew it.
Time manage and did goat things.
3 minutes and you're only up by 1 score. Everyone knows, okay, the safe option is run it. The Bucks are going to stop them. No question. And Tom Brady can work with however much time. So you don't play clock management. You keep the Bucks defense guessing because if they know you're just going to run, they'll stop you.
Exactly.
But if they don't know if they're, okay, it might be a throw, it might be a run, there was so much miscommunication in the first half that, like, you play hurry-up offense, you keep them on their toes, no way they're stopping you. You go up by 2 scores. It doesn't matter how much time's left there. Tom's a great game-winning drive quarterback. He's not Patrick Mahomes, who's going to light you up for 3 scores in under 2 minutes.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, Matthew Stafford, too, he just said, you know what? All the bad things that happened to the Rams in the game, it was not his fault. It's like exactly what you're saying. Looking back at it now, they really should not have taken it out of Stafford's hands, because not only were you getting all the scores through Matthew Stafford, the minute you started running the ball more, that's when they started fucking up. That's when they were starting to fumble.
The Cam Akers fumble, which, I mean, not much he could really do. Like, he was trying to protect himself, so he put one hand off of the ball. That's where he lost it. Cooper Kupp, same thing. He was stiff-arming the guy to hell. Just great play by the defense to just smack that ball out of his arm. It was a good cradle, too.
And the really shitty snap.
Yeah, the center. What the hell are you doing there?
We were talking about it. When that happened, we're like, oh, so it's going to be one of these games where, again, crazy shit happens where this is the Tom Brady luck coming in, where I'm like, damn, this is about to be Atlanta the sequel. That's what I was thinking.
Football Jesus.
Like, he talked to that defense. He's like, hey, I was down 28-3. You know how I won? My defense.
I think it was more like, I'm 44 years old.
I do have to say, Stafford also did fumble the ball, but he was the only one to recover it.
That was in all honesty, out of all the games, that was the second best one this weekend. But it was just amazing to see Tom Brady do Tom Brady things. Football Jesus was definitely out on the field. And it leads me to say, if that was 12's last game, I'm glad I got to see it.
I mean,
I don't think it's his last, but
he got his first unsportsmanlike conduct of his career just in time for his last game.
A comeback, and just think about it like this, though, if it went out like this. So, Tom Brady's first Super Bowl, I don't know if you guys remember it, but I'm sure you guys do. Mm-hmm. All right, remember we were talking about on that final drive in that Super Bowl, you know, even John Madden was like, I think at this point you got to play for overtime. You know, at that point they said, fuck it. We all know Tom Brady leads them down the field, Vinatieri wins it. And guess who it was against? The Rams. So, in this one, I was saying with John Madden, I said, you got to play for overtime. You guys are having shit luck right now. And I got to give a shout out to you, Nate, because you would be a better coach than I would ever be. Because you said, you got to just keep giving it to Stafford and let him make the plays. And sure as shit, that's what he did. Let him down the field. They won off a walk-off field goal. Imagine if that is the way he goes out against the Rams. And he beat him in the Super Bowl again. His last one in New England. Like, be a crazy ending.
I was about to say, we're all here. That's got to be Aaron. Yeah.
Shout out to Aaron.
What's up, Aaron?
Shout out, Aaron.
Wish you were here.
Yeah.
Not really. There's like 5 quarterbacks you just do not leave time on the clock for. Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, and Matt Stafford.
It sucks because, like, Matthew Stafford, I mean, me and you, Nate, being lifelong fans, we've seen every snap of his career. So many great comebacks. But anyone who doesn't watch the Lions, because, like, who else would, outside the Lions fans, he had many great comebacks, dude. He had a lot of good comebacks that people just kind of forget about.
He would have had one more, and this is why I say never take it out of his hands. The Cardinals, the game, they tied it week 1. It was a third, and I think it was like 7 or something. It wasn't much. And defense was doing something funky. Stafford saw it, called an audible at the line, hit a first down. Game would have been over. The Lions coach had called a timeout right before the snap. The whole play played out, but they were like, nope, no good. Lions called a timeout. Stafford walked over. He went, I saw it. Trust me. I saw it. They came out of the timeout, didn't get the first down, ended up punting the ball. Cardinals scored, went into overtime. They ended up tying. Don't take the ball out of Stafford's hands. He's been around long enough. He knows what he's doing. Trust him. Just trust him.
I mean, even like right when they got that, that was the play before
the Cooper
bomb.
Kupp long drive.
The right before, the one right before that where he caught it. I was like, damn. I said that was a great throw. I said I think they still had one. No, they didn't have any timeouts.
No, because they had to burn the timeout on the
That play.
The fumble or the fumble. They had to burn the timeout.
Yep.
And then the bomb happened. I'm like, oh, that's it. I said, they're about to end it. I said, this is how Tom Brady's going out. I said, this is not going to finish like the Atlanta one. Atlanta said, we're not, playing we'll play for overtime. But Rams said, no, we're going for it.
Yeah.
We cannot let this guy get the ball in overtime. We're going to end it now. We have to. And it paid off for them. And they're one win away now from going to the Super Bowl.
Going to the Super Bowl.
You guys think that's Tom Brady's last game?
I really don't know. Normally, I have an idea. I don't this time. Like every other major free agency, like when LeBron, I was like, oh, he's going to LA. Brady, the first time, I was like, nah, he's going to Tampa. I really don't know this time, though.
It's weird, man. It's like I don't either. He's always talking about he wanted to play till 45, but these last few weeks, now it's like, oh, Tom Brady doesn't know what he's doing at the end of this year. And I think, too, like, he's trying to focus on his family. He's like, damn, I've missed so much of my family time. He's definitely a player that's worthy of a farewell tour, definitely. I'm sure he'd want that, but is he just going to say, fuck it, I'm with you, Nate? I have no idea.
I hope to God it's not. I want him to come back for one more. I think he did, like you said, he deserves a farewell tour. I don't want him out because it's actually a scary year to think because we could lose Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, and you never know. LeBron might call it at the end of the year. What if we lose all three?
The future of the league will be in Jimmy G, Lamar Jackson, and Joe Burrow's hands.
I mean, if we lose Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady,
and Patty Mack too.
Just saying, if Aaron, Tom Brady, and LeBron all retire this year, is that comparable to like a few years ago when we lost Peyton Manning, Marshawn Lynch, who else was in there? Calvin Johnson.
Peyton and Megatron.
No, Peyton and Megatron weren't in the same year.
Yeah, I was like, there's no way. Peyton went to Denver.
I'm thinking Charles Woodson, sorry.
Okay.
It definitely, you can feel it, right? Like, it's the end of an era. These are the guys I grew up watching.
Yeah, like the guys that we grew up watching, like it's some of their days are definitely becoming numbered.
I still got Stafford.
I
hopped in on the 0-16 Lions. I've had Stafford since that year.
Amen. As soon as he got us that first win, it was like crack for all the Lions fans. We're like, all right, we got to win, awesome. And he did great. He was just in fucking Detroit. And Nate, you remember they had a lot of bad luck in Detroit. You had a lot of weird games where you're just like, damn.
What the or is it a catch? Is it not a catch rule originated with Calvin Johnson? There was the bullshit Golden Tate. I mean, it wasn't bullshit. The rule's the rule. The Golden Tate where he caught the ball but he didn't catch the ball and they had to do a review that nobody asked for, so there was a 10-second runoff.
Yep.
Like, oh my god.
And then the playoff game against the Cowboys.
I don't want to talk about that game. I'm still not over it.
I'm still not over it either, man. That one still hurts. But
fuck them boys.
Yeah.
All these years later, they still don't have a Super Bowl.
I'm glad that they lost.
That was just ugly by Dak. Like, I could see Joe Burrow doing that, but Joe's too cool. Speaking of Joe Burrow.
At least Matthew Stafford knew to tell his line to get up to the line.
Get the fuck up here!
Get to the line! I will buy you a steak dinner. Get up here. Get up here. Get up here. Okay.
Well, he's done it too many times. He's got, 42 game-winning drives.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I've been here before. Let's go.
Yep. Just
outside slants. You're open. Bomb.
So this is my final note on this game. Does that little choke at the end, does that worry you on the Rams side a little bit?
Yes.
Just because, I've heard you guys, roast Aaron for all the chokes, and it's like, okay, at some point, you need to learn how to close out a game.
I mean, Week 18 is a big one, and that's against the same team they're going up against.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I agree.
Part of it's okay, Tom Brady was just doing Tom Brady things, but then, what's going on?
Yeah, that's what I think. You've blown almost
That's 2 games in the last 3 weeks.
You've blown a 3-touchdown lead twice in the last 3 weeks. There's something going on there.
So I think the next one we'll talk about, I think we got that covered. Brady's retirement as well.
Let's do Bengals and Titans. Save the good one for the end.
All right, yeah. So we'll start off, I guess, with we were watching that one, and I gotta say, Joe Burrow, what he did, you guys know he got sacked 9 times, right?
He lost 68 yards on those sacks, too.
Like,
They almost lost an entire football field on just Joe Burrow getting sacked.
I mean, he lost 68 yards, but Derrick Henry only gained 62 yards, and he touched the ball 20 times.
Which, here's my other thing for you guys. Titans were 1-8 on third downs. The only one they got was 3rd and 3. It was just a short pass. But they were never really in a clear, like, okay, Derrick Henry or Foreman will run the ball. They were never in 3rd and short. It was always 3rd and long, 3rd and long, 3rd and long. And if you're a running football team and you're always in 3rd and long, you're losing a huge chunk of your advantage over the other team. Tannehill only threw for 24, like he only attempted 24 throws, which is fair for, again, you're a running football team. But then you had 3 guys who ran the ball, 27 carries, and only 140 yards. Like you said, Henry got 20 carries, but only 62 yards.
Right.
And if you're a running football team and that's your workhorse, you have to rely on your quarterback. And Tannehill,
I think it all points back. He was still hurt. That metal foot that was in his plate was a big key. I hope they didn't rush him back too fast because
they definitely did.
I was happy with the season he was having at the start of the year. He was having a hell of a year. I mean, him and Jonathan Taylor, what a season that would have been for running backs this year. If
They both just a battle it out every week.
Would have been an all-time great year for running backs, that's for sure, man.
Oh, man, this season would have been a crazy year for those 2 running backs. Had there wasn't an injury to Derrick Henry.
I
think if Henry was 100%, I think this game could have went to the Titans as close of a score as it ended up being. The
Coming
defense,
down the stretch, definitely, they only used Foreman.
Since he's got to protect Burrow if they want to win their next game, there's no way you go to Arrowhead and get sacked 9 times and you're going to walk out.
Not just the
winning.
next game, but like future games too. I mean, we all saw what happened to Andrew Luck. He retired.
Yeah,
he can't be taking those hits.
He got
dude.
ripped apart, but he also like never learned to slide. He took every hit.
That is true. We were talking about that during the just.
That is really true.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. He was definitely rushed back. He definitely was not himself. And like you said, at that point, if your number 1 player is not good, you got to rely on your quarterback if he's not your number 1. And Tannehill, he's not the guy, man. He made a lot of mistakes. First play of the game, interception. Very first play of the game.
And coming down crunch time too, just the defense blew apart that running back screen, and he just didn't recognize it. Threw it right to the guy. Right to him.
Even in them trying to get in that comeback mode, the one we were watching, that crucial drive to like tie the game, and another pick. It was a crazy one where the defense, tipped it up in the air.
I don't know, because the Titans player who went to catch the ball originally bobbled it. I don't even know if he was the intended target. I hope not. He had triple coverage on him. I hope he was aiming for 11 and 10 just snagged it.
Right,
he was like, oh, it's right there. Boom, and that's why he bobbled it. Like, hopefully Ryan Tannehill didn't throw into triple coverage.
You never know with Ryan Tannehill. I think Tennessee's problem is definitely their quarterback. No offense to Ryan Tannehill.
Which is why you think Rodgers will go there.
Rodgers, but you said it earlier, and I really like your thought on this. Russell Wilson to Tennessee, I think that would actually be a very good fit for Russ.
I mean, he's right there.
Never thought about that until you said it either. I thought that was really good. But it's definitely their quarterback, man. You guys think that he's probably gone, or you think they're going to bring him back?
I would cut ties with him. There's no way you're throwing an interception for me to start the game.
I'm sorry. You can't.
No, you got to make a big splash.
If you can't get anybody this offseason, you have to go in and be like, okay, we have to trade by week 6 and get him out of here.
At that point, I think I'd let Derrick Henry let his quarterback go. Look, you can tell him.
Yeah, no, I think if Aaron Rodgers went there, brought Devontae with him with already those elite receivers, Derrick Henry, they'd be unstoppable. But
that'd be one scary offense, especially with Mike Vrabel as a head coach.
Oh yeah, and I think on the Cincinnati side of it, like you said, they got to definitely protect Joe better. 9 sacks. Any other quarterback in his position, in Burrow's position, they would have folded. They would have said, all right, I cannot do this. I'm getting hit too much. But he just kept getting up, dude.
Especially, this is his first full season because he had the ACL injury last year.
Yep. I think he only played 3 games.
I thought he had a bit more. It wasn't much though.
Yeah,
I don't think I don't even think he had half a season.
Yeah.
So this is his first full season, and this was his first full season getting sacked relentlessly because that O-line has more holes in it than Swiss cheese. And I mean, it's the Matthew Stafford thing all over again. Stafford lost an entire year because he had to get back surgery because he just kept getting planted on it.
Yeah.
It's not a good combo. A good quarterback and a bad O-line.
No. I think offensive line is definitely circled for the to-do list for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Oh, definitely.
I think that's definitely circled if they're not already looking into it. I would be because
even if you get to the Super Bowl, you can't look at that O-line and say, "Hey, good job, guys."
What the Bengals have going with Joe Burrow, Joe Mixon, and Jamar Chase is just, I think, incredible for how young all 3 of the guys are. I think it's awesome.
LSU turned out some good products.
They did. From that national championship team, they've turned out some really, really good products.
So
we got one more game.
Yep. So the Bengals, they earned their way to the AFC title game. Walk-off kick for that rookie. Shout out McPherson. Great kick.
Especially after he missed a couple of them.
Yeah.
I think, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then, of course, they got to go. That brings us to the next game, to Arrowhead, and it was the Bills.
After that amazing shootout.
Best game of the weekend.
Which, before we even get into that, here's my opinion. When you go for that coin toss, your captains, you have to look at each other and go, look, we'll kick a field goal, you kick a field goal, and then we'll play real football.
That sounds fair. I mean, that's a lot better than the rule they have, because I feel like the rule they have right now is like a coin toss. Okay,
we'll kick the field goal, give you guys the chance to get the ball. You kick the field goal, and then we'll restart the whole thing where there's no bullshit one-and-done rule.
I hate the one-and-done rule, because it feels like, okay, we flipped the coin, I won, I get to punch you in the face as hard as I can, and if you get back up, you get to punch me. But 9 times out of 10, you're not getting back up.
All right, so I was going to actually kind of bring that up, but you're bringing it up now. So do you guys have a problem with the rule change? Like, what's your perspective on it? How do you guys think it should be?
I have no problem with it in the regular season. It helps avoid ties. It helps keep the playoff picture less messy at the end of the season because, okay, well, this team tied this team, lost to this team, all that other messiness. But in the playoffs, you can't have it.
I think when it comes to playoffs, I think we should just get a whole extra quarter of football.
Ooh.
Continuous
I mean, maybe
play.
not a full quarter, but
I think it should be like
sort of like basketball.
Kind of like, actually, I'm thinking kind of like hockey.
Oh, okay.
Because they go till the next score. I think you play a whole quarter of football. At the end of it, if you're still tied, fuck it, we're playing another quarter.
Okay.
I think it should come down to the end of the time. Like, you should play a set amount of time. You have, if it's a 7-minute quarter, 10-minute quarter, where it doesn't have to be a full actual quarter. It could be even like
just an extra 7 minutes,
an extra,
or something, yeah,
an extra 5 minutes, whatever. I don't think it should be ruled by a coin toss. It should be something different than a coin toss. I don't know how you change it for a coin toss. It shouldn't come down to a flip
I feel
of
like
a coin.
the other team should
ball.
get a chance to answer back, regardless.
Yeah,
I'm with you, Nate. I don't have a problem with it. Because at the end of the day, defense wins championships. If you can't stop a team from scoring, especially in Buffalo's case, they were the number 1 defense.
Yeah, I mean, it's Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. That offense is electric.
How I would do it, and it definitely wouldn't be that shitty college rule. I don't like how college does it. But I was kind of looking at it like this, where, Kansas City, on their opening drive, it's however many plays it takes. And let's just say they score in 10 plays. Buffalo has to do it in 10 plays or less, and they get the ball. I think that'd be kind of a good way to do it. I actually like your way too, Jake. But wouldn't that be kind of cool if it had a play tracker or counter? Yeah. And says, all right, so the Bills got 2 plays to get it to the end zone because that's how long it took the Chiefs. And the fact that it came to a coin toss, when it happened to them a couple years ago with the Patriots in the AFC Championship, it's just... so we definitely kind of are looking at a rule change, or not in the playoffs in your case, where what you said, Nate.
I like it in the regular season, but playoffs, you got to get rid of it.
Yeah, playoffs. I think playoffs needs a rule change. I think it needs to be fair for both teams because both teams earned that fact to be there in the playoffs. And
there was one thing I kind of noticed when we were going through the highlights because I passed out. I didn't watch the game. I tried my hardest. I got awake. I got woke up after halftime, and I couldn't even make it through the third quarter. I just passed out.
damn,
But like when we were going through the highlights, like they were both really long drives. Like each team only got one drive the first quarter, and then second half, Bills only had
3 plays going into the fourth quarter, and one play was a touchdown, and the other one it was a 3-and-out drive.
Yeah. So like that's not the Kansas City offense. Like they're big play, they're fast, they're huge chunks of yards, but it seemed like the Bills defense was forcing them to drive, which I think also hurts them because they're a shootout team. The faster they score, the more opportunities they're going to get the ball back to score again.
I feel like that's how both these teams are. They're fast paced. They
So
rely a lot on fast-paced
like they'll
offense
score no matter what, but when you force them to really take small chunks and make it into longer drives, you're hurting them. It didn't work out for the defenses in this case. Like any other team, I think, hey, this could work.
Is that why Stephon Diggs went missing?
I mean, he didn't
I thought
this
this was supposed to be a redemption game after all the Instagram posts and
He didn't
sharing
have
all
the
you
big
standing there
chunks.
watching them. I just want to know, did you stand there and watch them celebrate this time?
He did have one huge play. He tackled that fan. Have you guys seen that
You
video?
beat me to it. You beat me to it.
He did
I was gonna say
that.
that.
Shout out to Stephon Diggs for that, but
Outside of that, you're right. I didn't even think about it. He didn't do shit that game. I didn't hear his name like too much in that game.
no.
Other than tackle.
He had 7 yards.
Oh my gosh.
That's it?
That's it.
How many targets?
I think 1.
Oh my
I
gosh.
could be wrong on that. I know he only got 7 yards, but Davis for Buffalo with 4 touchdowns, 8 receptions on 201 yards.
Talk about the game of your life, though.
Right, like
6 targets. Yeah, Diggs had 6 targets, 3 catches, but only 7 yards.
Yikes.
And his long was 5.
Oof.
ouch.
Yeah, now, after you said that, I didn't even think about it. And I gotta ask, like, you guys, did you guys think 13 seconds was long enough?
Absolutely.
I think so, too. I was like, oh.
Especially with 3 timeouts.
With Patrick Mahomes, I mean, with 3 timeouts, Patrick
3
Mahomes,
times,
yeah,
and-
might as well.
And that's like a comparison between Stafford, who could do it with 3 timeouts, 13 seconds, in my opinion, and Mahomes, is they've got that funky
The sidearm.
sidearm angles. You never know where that ball's coming from.
Yeah, like you said in Detroit, he was the first one to do it, but Mahomes, because he was really winning, had a squad around him. Everyone was like, look at this sidearm stuff. But Stafford's been doing it for a while.
I've seen Stafford whip it through his own O-line to hit Megatron. He's like, oh, I got you. Boom.
Yeah, so at 13 seconds, I was like, oh, man. I said, that is going to be super tough.
I mean, I saw Aaron Rodgers drive down the entire field, 69-yard Hail Mary with an untimed down.
True. That is true.
Because he
After his birthday.
And he faked the face mask. They didn't touch his face mask.
I saw a face mask.
He got an Oscar for that one.
He did get an Oscar for that one. I'm sorry. I gotta do it. But he ends up getting the last laugh. That was the craziest Hail Mary I've seen. I was shocked. I said, well, now I gotta go to bed because I have school the next day. That was a tough one. But
Casey
yeah.
pulled it out in OT, though.
Yeah.
13 seconds, that's what I'm going to call this game, for the future, every game, like the catch or the comeback. This is the 13-second game.
13-second miracle.
Here's something I found kind of interesting. What was the final of the KC game?
42-36.
Okay. So I always said if the defense can hold the other team to less than 24 points, Matthew Stafford consistently puts up 24. Tom Brady, every single one of his Buccaneers postseason games, 30 points. So I was like, okay, first to 30 is going to win that game. Rams got it. Bucs didn't. With Kansas City, you have to put up 42 if you're going to beat them.
Oh, wow.
So now looking into my matchup preview, no way Joe Burrow getting sacked as much as he does is in the Bengals, they're not going to be able to put up 42.
I don't think that's going to be enough. What
Yeah.
they just did in that game against them, you're not going to be able to stop that.
No
Plus the no protection that he had, it's going to be bad, bro. I'm thinking.
That's what I think too. I got a feeling Kansas City's defense is going to show up. They're going to pressure Burrow, and I feel like it's going to be too much pressure for them. I've got Kansas City this weekend over them.
I've got Kansas City as well. I mean, they lost to the Bengals a couple weeks ago. Wasn't in Arrowhead. This time it's in Arrowhead. And it's a whole different animal in the playoffs. And what did you say, Jake, about Burrow saying that it's about as loud as a SEC stadium?
He said that NFL stadiums aren't as loud as SEC stadiums. And I could maybe see where he's coming from. Maybe certain big games. He played at LSU. He got to play against Bama. He played against Florida, Georgia. You know, them are big games down south. But I don't know. Arrowhead's one different place. Arrowhead gets pretty loud.
Yeah, if you don't even have a touchdown against the Titans, you're not beating the Chiefs.
Yeah, and with it being so dang cold, you're going to Arrowhead. It's going to be a cold one. It's going to be loud. You have to score. You didn't score on Tennessee. Tennessee has a pretty good defense. I don't know if Tennessee's defense is the same as Kansas City.
You know,
I still got Kansas City over Cincy this weekend.
it all comes back to what you said, Nate. Can you drop 42 to keep up with them?
No.
I don't think so.
I'm going Kansas City as well. It's going to probably... You guys think it's going to be close or blowout? What are we thinking?
I think they'll open it up in the second half.
23 to 40 something.
So
I think Joe Burrow will get them to 20, but Patrick Mahomes is going to light them up for 40 plus.
It's like 38-21 KC.
So yeah, it's going to be not a very close game. That's kind of what I'm thinking too. Probably I think they're going to drop 40 like you said, Nate, and then Bengals could probably put up 20, but it'll be a good little, hey, Joe Burrow, nice job for your first year. You're just playing, probably one of the greatest quarterbacks already ever. But we all got the Chiefs. So next game, NFC Championship. Rams versus the 49ers. This is in the Rams, but not that it matters. It's going to be
not when they're both from Cali.
Right.
There's going to be a lot of Niners fans at that game.
We saw it week 18. It was a Red Sea in LA, it looked like.
Oh, yeah. What are we expecting from this one? Nate, you got what are we expecting from your boy Matt Stafford and the Rams?
He's definitely going to have to throw the ball because I feel like Cam Akers had a good running game against the Cardinals, but he's kind of a once every 4 or 5 weeks kind of running back. So I feel like Stafford's definitely going to have to throw the ball 32 times and obviously complete as many of those as he can.
And they're going against, San Francisco's pass rush is pretty damn good.
So yeah, they'll have to get protection. Aaron Darnold will have to do Aaron Darnold things and just keep that big body of his on Jimmy G at all times.
Him, Von Miller.
I want him riding him harder than a porn star.
That's what I'm expecting. I think they're going to be like, yo, listen, we know that we've lost 6 straight, and we know what happened a couple of weeks ago, but we are not going to lose to them again.
Like, we didn't just fucking end Tom Brady's career to lose to the 49ers again.
Exactly. I think this is going to be Matthew Stafford's going to have a great game, I'm thinking. I'm going to probably pick the Rams for this, but never sleep on the Niners because they got that all-around pretty good team, like you said. Great defense. They got Debo, who is a superstar. Jimmy, who can do just enough. He's just the guy there, but he doesn't really cost you the game. Sometimes we'll make a bad throw, but you really don't know.
I got the 49ers.
I got to take Rams. I have to. I have told too many people too many times Matthew Stafford, Super Bowl, first year out of Detroit. And this is his first year out, so I can't apologize now.
I'm not a Stafford hater. I just
don't like him.
Don't like is not the word. I feel like he's mediocre-ish. I mean, he's got a lot of stars around him.
Nah, man. In LA or in Detroit?
L.A. I mean, Detroit, he didn't have shit. That's where I thought he was
Which
doing.
is
was
why everyone thinks he's mediocre. I'm
Well,
telling you.
but
Like,
he was-
yes, Stafford doesn't have like the big wins.
Stafford was great for Detroit. He would go to Lambeau and lose every year, which is great for Packer fans.
Remember when Packers didn't have a win over the Lions in over 1,000 days?
I do remember that.
That was a good one. That was a good 1,000+ days.
I thought this was the podcast, not the History Channel.
All right, so ESPN's matchup predictor has the Rams percent chance of winning at 59.5, and the line is 3.5 points. So,
I've got 49ers, hopefully by like
score game.
a lot. But to be real, I think 49ers by 3.
I think Rams by 10.
I've got Rams by 7, and I think it's going to come down to... Jake, I can't even blame you for picking the 49ers, and they scare me because they just have that we're getting good at the right time. The Rams played great last week until the end, and like you said, it was against Tom Brady. They're the champs, so...
I don't think Jimmy G can do it, though.
Kyle
I don't think
Shanahan's
this time.
a damn good coach. He's got his players all buying in.
It's one
And they're
game.
all buying in at the right time. right now.
I'm worried about this game. I am happy it's the late game because I will get out of work and I'll be able to watch the entirety of it. And I'm going to lose my mind.
Like, looking at it,
Win or lose, I'm going to be freaking out.
on paper, Rams definitely have the way better team. But San Francisco is still, you can't doubt them. Especially after they went into Lambeau and said, we're going to get it done with our special teams. And even their defense, Rodgers couldn't do anything. I mean, whether you want to call it bad weather, they should be used to it. But it's not easy going into Lambeau and winning.
It looked more like bad effort.
Like, I don't want to be here. So, fact I had forgotten until it got brought up because of the loss. Rodgers passed up by San Francisco at the draft. You think he's still playing for his childhood team, even in Green Bay?
Probably not now.
No, but like all that,
I don't think that would
every
look good.
postseason loss. It's like, I can't beat the Niners. I can't do it. You think he did it on
I
purpose?
can't beat the Niners. Well, if I am the Niners, that means I can't lose, right?
There we go. There we go.
Like, no, I don't think it works like that.
If you lose, if you're the 49ers, you lose, do you bring Jimmy back or not?
Yeah, I
Why
think you
not?
bring him back regardless.
That's what I think.
I mean, they're an every other year team. And it seems to be the same thing with the San Francisco Giants. I don't know what they got going on. They do really good, and then they're just hung over for a year.
Yeah.
You were talking about
Something in the water down there.
Yeah. Warriors.
Warriors too.
Well,
Warriors took a couple years
that
off,
was
but
because people got hurt. You can't put that on them.
I think that was still something in the water.
All right. Yeah.
I was actually thinking about it. What if he did go to San Francisco? That'd be weird. It'd be kind of like a Warriors too, like you guys are saying.
If Aaron Rodgers backstabs us and goes to either the Bears, the Vikings, or the Lions, I will not be found for a whole year. I will hide under a rock.
Is Russell Wilson a free agent? Or would he have to get traded out of Seattle?
I think he has to get a trade, but I think he can request one. I am not 100% sure on that one.
What if they just do a flop? I mean, they're each unhappy.
I don't want Russ. Russ can't win at Lambeau. Have you seen what Russ is cooking? He's got like octopus with like water, and then like next thing you know, there's like an eyeball that floats out of nowhere. That's what Russ cooks. No thanks.
You guys, like, all right, hold up. Let's kind of talk about it. We're on it. For this game, Stafford, it's going to be on him. Is he better than Russ? Would you guys say he's better than Russ?
Tied, I would say. Well, I don't know.
After
Russ
this
got a
season,
Super
what we've
Bowl.
seen.
Yeah, Russell Wilson has the Super Bowl, but I mean,
He should have audibled and just ran it.
he should have.
Okay, like he'd have 2. Okay, if you had 2, I would arguably say
He had,
you're right.
I don't know, Legion of Boom, Marshawn Lynch. Russ has definitely had more weapons than Stafford. Stafford had Megatron, Darius Slay.
Megatron counts as 2.
Darius Slay also counts as 2. See this man? Balling. Most non-offensive touchdowns in the league this year.
Still balling, bro.
Still balling.
Man.
I think Stafford over Russ. Russ has the career, but I think Stafford's better. You got nothing. You can't pick.
It's hard because, I mean, when I think of Russell Wilson, all I think of is asking for a bowl of chicken noodle soup and getting back what I just described. There's octopus in my fucking bowl. But now if I ask for Matthew Stafford, there's that chance that we could go 0-16.
No. That was before Stafford. They went 0-16 and then drafted
Right, but
him.
he saw it happen and he could be like, hey, I could lead this team to that.
No, he came from Georgia.
Well, that's my other
He
point.
was the last good quarterback out of Georgia.
Georgia took how many years to finally win, though?
But he was the last good quarterback. After Stafford, they became a running team.
Nothing good has come from Georgia in the past few years.
Didn't they just beat you guys for an
Hey.
Fresh wounds.
Todd Gurley. I know we were just having that conversation
Right,
about
true.
Todd Gurley.
I mean, he went back to Atlanta to rock.
Kirby Smart.
Kirby Smart's a good guy.
Matthew Stafford.
I think I got Russ over Stafford, but I mean, I think really they're at like the same level. They're about like the same. They're right there, kind of tied, neck and neck.
I mean, I'll take that. I'm tired of listening to people tell me, "Oh, we should have traded for Jay Cutler, got rid of Matt Stafford." I will punch you in the face, sir.
People have said that to you?
Yeah, when I had a customer come in, he's like, "I think we should have traded Stafford for Jay Cutler." I was like, "You are drunk and need to leave this gas station."
Jay Cutler needs to come back and save the Bears. Like, that's all I ask.
I want Cam Newton to go to the Bears.
I just want Jay Cutler back in the league.
So what? He can hand off the ball and stand there like a tree?
Yeah, pedal the bicycle on the sideline and smoke a cigarette. And
There
know
we
this
go.
is going to throw a pick six to me the next play.
And, you know, I will say about this game, too, man, like, this was the one storyline I really didn't want to see for the NFC title game. So, I wanted to see if the Packers won and the Rams won, it would have been nice to see Stafford going to Lambeau against Rodgers, who you've had to play against, and guess what? You leave the division, but
You still got to play Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
So I was really looking forward to seeing that
That's what
one.
I was looking forward to.
And then in the case of the Packers winning and it would have been the Bucks, it would have been a rematch of last year's NFC Championship, and I would have gotten Rodgers versus Brady too.
So really, you would have got both of your scenarios had they not choked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then even if the 49ers did win, which they did, and it was the Bucks that won, it would have been Jimmy G versus Tom, the two former Patriot quarterbacks going at it. So those are the three storylines I wanted, and of course, the two outcomes that I did not want to happen. We got a NFC West rivalry for the third time, but it's
really hard to beat a team. There's a reason you only play your in the division teams twice. It's really hard 3 times.
Yep, exactly. We saw with the Saints, and I think the Rams are going to bring it. And I do have them winning this game, and it's going to be tough. Like you said, it's tough to beat a team 3 times in the same year.
Any sport, football, basketball, soccer.
With that said, though, shout out to you, Brandon, for starting this all up and having us on here,
Absolutely.
doing all the
Thank
editing.
you. Thank
Big
you for-
shout out to you.
Thank you for
Round
keeping
of
Aaron
applause.
off of it.
I appreciate that, guys. This is what we do, man. We just talk sports, and we just shoot this shit like we're doing normally and just talk. And
Now we just have a mic to record it.
Exactly. And that's, I don't know, I always like talking sports with people who know their stuff. And you guys know your shit. So, shout out you guys for coming through on a busy schedule. Nate, after you had a doctor's appointment for your fiance, like...
She's okay.
Good.
Got really scared there yesterday. She had a lot of blood coming out of her nose.
Oh,
Terrifying.
Glad she's okay. Glad she's okay.
Good. Shout out, Alicia. But thank you for joining us. That was our breakdown of each of the divisional games and our predictions for this year's Super Bowl and who's going to win this week's title games. Jake, if you want to shout out to your Twitch again, any shout outs for you, Nate, if you guys want to go for it.
Jake from Bake Farm on Twitch. Follow me. Follow me on Instagram as well. It's the same thing. Thanks again, Brandon.
If you see me, I don't know my Snapchat, but add me on Snapchat. I do this all the time.
You got Drunk Kitchen, though.
I got Drunk Kitchen.
Drunk Kitchen. Yeah.
Drunk Kitchen and
Drunk
sports.
Kitchen.
The 2 things I'm good at.
And we out.